Did you know that about 25% of the adult population in the United States has a serious problem with anxiety at some point in their lives? That is 1 out of every 4 people. I am sure you have felt stress or tension before in your work environment at one time or another. I personally suffer from debilitating anxiety. Due to trying to cope with this disorder, I have researched the topic thoroughly by reading self-help books, talking to psychiatrists and psychologists, and even to others who share my struggles. Managing stress in the workplace is an essential part of both the individual and corporate responsibilities, and I have hope that you will be encouraged to utilize some of my useful methods so that you can lessen tension and create a calmer, more productive way of conducting business. I will offer practical strategies today to help you better handle your stress in the workplace. Before proceeding with those strategies, I will tell you more about the nature of anxiety and some of the causes. The need for tackling the causes of stress in the workplace is paramount because it can lead to problems for you, your working relationships, and your overall working environment. Research shows that 4 out of every 10 people working at large companies are experiencing a major corporate restructuring, which causes them to be uncertain about their futures. According to the American Psychological Association, cited by the American Institute of Stress, work-related stress costs American companies an estimated $300 billion annually. For instance, the ability for them to do their job well in order to keep their job is a major stressor for most employees, especially in a fluctuating economy. Issues may include lowered self-esteem and poor concentration skills for the employee. The employer may suffer from increasing customer complaints, staff turnover, and days lost to sickness that all affect the bottom line. Since the need affects both the employee and employer, it is important to deal with the underlying problems. According to PhD, business psychologist and author of Success Under Stress, Dr. Sharon Melnick, says, workers are interrupted 7 times an hour and distracted up to 2.1 hours per day. Deadlines and pressures contribute to this sensory overload, and it can be hard to stay on task. In cases of extreme or continual stress, people can suffer from panic attacks. These are brief but extremely frightening spells of severe anxiety. Melnick goes on to describe symptoms ranging from feeling faint, trembling, dizziness, a fast heart rate, and feeling hot and sweaty. All in all, there is a great need for coping strategies to be made available to people in the workplace, especially in light of how prevalent the problem is and how much money it costs employers while their employees suffer. Just think, you could contribute to relieving this epidemic by utilizing some coping mechanisms I will share with you. Keep in mind that if you do not particularly suffer from stress, you could certainly pass them on to another coworker. As noted on the handout, there are several ways to reduce stress at work. Now, I will review some of them. First, sit up straight. I know it sounds elementary, and your mother probably told you to do so, but she may not have realized how good posture can affect how well you perform on the job. According to Andy Yap, a postdoctoral associate and lecturer at MIT, found in Time magazine, your posture influences psychology, and that influences behavior. Yap conducted experiments and found that when we sit in tight, contracted positions where we are squeezed into a seat that is too small or hunched over on our phone, we feel more stressed and less powerful. He says, power buffers you from stress. If your desk or workstation is cramped, see if you can move things around to give yourself a little more physical and mental breathing room. Secondly, Get organized. Research shows that just looking at clutter can spur the body's production of stress hormones, so working in a messy office or cubicle can make you stressed even if the work itself is not high stress. The Coen brothers, both lecturers on business success and authors, advise tackling that pile of papers that you never get around to filing, or the overflowing email inbox. They recommend minimizing clutter because the visual stimulation of the files are distracting and can impede time management. Another finding is that deep breathing will restore balance. Melnick makes another suggestion to simply inhale for 5 seconds and exhale in equal counts through the nose. By taking in these concentrated breaths, she claims it feels like getting the calm and focus of a 90-minute yoga class in 3 minutes or less at your desk. In short, sitting up straight, getting organized, and deep breathing are just a few of the tactics you can implement to reduce stress at work. After hearing how prevalent stress is in the workplace and knowing some practical strategies to tackle it, I encourage you to adopt these tools and share them with your coworkers. In conclusion, stress in the workplace is a serious problem for both the employee and employer, and it is important that they work together to find solutions to minimize it. By dealing with the underlying problems and implementing strategies I provided, I hope I have convinced you to give them a try and share them with your circle of influence to find greater calm, productivity, and stability. Finally, I would like to leave you with this challenge. Try finding ways to curtail stress and create peace in your life, and see if you can become a helpful role model to those around you.